is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So a little bit of weakness out here today. We're off 11 points on the S&P cash, off 135 on the Dow. Nasdaq's off 48. Russell's off 12. Seeing, you do have a little bit, not a huge weakness out here. The problem is we're running out of time before the 4th of July weekend. Next week, of course, starts the run up to the weekend and those days off. And that's where this starts to become problematic. By Wednesday, we're going to start seeing lighter volume into the 30th. The 4th, of course, is on a Wednesday. So you got a handful of days, but it's not maybe as bad as Labor Day and Memorial Day, but it will be lighter. And the question is, we need some more volume down to break out those lows. And it's probably, without an event, I think it's going to be fairly tough to get the market headed down before that 4th of July weekend. Maybe we see a market turn after the 4th, but my guess is that, man, if we can't get this done in the next few days, it is going to be problematic. As I said, last couple of days, I took my short positions off, made some, lost some, probably lost a little more than, in fact, I don't know. Yeah, lost a little more than I made. So, has it been a blow up? No. Disappointing? Yes. And that's where we start looking at, just because the market doesn't go your way, doesn't mean that it goes the other way. Could go no way. A lot of times a no position is a good position until you get something going on. I have to say that probably waiting for the market to crack used up a lot of my internal fortitude. And being out of the market, not having a position, lets you kind of get back to normal fairly quickly. You get charged back up. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm waiting for some kind of signal in the market. My guess is that we maybe close down a few points today. I don't see anything big happening. We do have some smaller events kind of moving the market around. We'll talk about that. We'll get back into what Tommy and I talked about on Friday, because that did pay off today if you were paying attention to the new IPOs, and we'll get to that and why it is such a big deal. Anything else going on? I don't think so. I think that there will be some positions to be had. Lighter volume. Maybe you get some of these things taking off if they're way too short, especially into next week. And what is it? Are we off the 3rd and the 4th, or it's just the 4th? I think it's just the 4th. I'm on vacation anyway, so any of those light volume times I try to take off. The newsletters still go out, and I keep an eye on the market, but I'm going off to machine learning camp. So I'll be doing some stuff up in Washington State. We'll talk more about that probably when I come back, maybe what I've learned. Anyway, going to be working on some new stuff for the newsletter and just for me, so that I can do a little bit more in the way of scanning. One of the problems has been how to write a scanner that's loose enough so it gets hit and not so tight that it never turns up anything. And machine learning is a great at that, making everything a little bit fuzzy. So I'll be working on that a little bit during my semi-vacation, actually just going to a computer boot camp about some of the new techniques that have come out in the last year, how I might be able to apply them to the stock market. Anyway, off 9 points on the S&P cash again. Volume was not all that exciting this morning. Why I didn't hop on the brigade that we were going to hell in a handbasket. It is good. If I had to be in a position, it would probably be short. But I just right now, I think the best thing to do is sit on my hands and wait for the next big signal. As I said, sometimes no position is a great position. What do we got? Let's go to do a little history, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the news, because there are some interesting things. And a couple people made some bucks on what I was talking about Friday with Tommy. We'll get into that, and we'll get into Intel Inside.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1981, the IBM retired stretch mainframe, part of the 7000 series that represented the company's first transistorized computer. At the top of the line of computers, all which merged significantly faster and more dependable than vacuum tube machines, sat the 7030 or stretch. 7 of the computers which featured a 64-bit word architecture and other innovations were sold to the national laboratories and other scientific users. L.R. Johnson first used the term architecture in describing the stretch, and that's why we now talk about architecture and whether or not a computer's got a 1632 or 64-bit word. Almost everything today has a 64-bit word, even little cheap cell phones. Some of them have 64-bit words. Most of them do. But now, we're looking at the possibility of 128-bit CPUs coming in the near future. Now, why this did have transistors, it wasn't an integrated circuit, and why it was getting retired. These were all made with individual transistors, each one soldered onto a board. And of course, about 1972, integrated circuits came on, and Intel was able to sell those, and IBM had their own products in that vein of integrated circuits, so that you could have a million transistors, or 2 million, or 5 million. I think the ones that replaced this had 5 million transistors in something a little bit smaller than a pizza box, which was, I don't know, probably 1/100th the size of the 7000 series computer. And what was the most important part of this computer? Well, it went on to star in a movie. Just a couple years later, actually in the next year, it was sold to Hollywood as a prop set and used in the movie War Games. So that's it. Yep, we'll be talking about some stuff when we come back. First is the sales tax and how you could have made money on it today. We'll return very short time out.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And today, the Supreme Court, here come the judge, ruled on online shopping. About 40 states were petitioning the Supreme Court to change a decision that's been around for 50 years. While most of the big companies collect sales tax, there are a lot of little companies. I buy a lot of my computer stuff from a company called Newegg, and they're out in California. If they sell outside of California, they don't collect sales tax. So kind of a premium for waiting a few extra days for it to try go all the way across the country. That won't happen anymore. Everybody will have to collect from everybody. And if you remember my conversation from Friday with Tommy, we were talking about new IPOs that you should pay attention to. And of course, Friday had a nice IPO called Valera. AVLR is the ticker on it. And of course, it went public, on Thursday. It is a transaction cloud compliance, cloud-based solution worldwide for sales tax. So you can collect sales tax literally anywhere in the world, although they specialize here in the United States. Every mom and pop company in the United States is now going to have to start looking at collecting sales tax. And of course, since they're doing it nationally, you're going to rely on them having every hamlet's sales tax. And why they don't send the cash to them, my guess is eventually they will act as a broker to make sure that everybody gets what they need. Kind of like people that send out money after movies get rerun. There's a whole kind of business in there in distributing that kind of cash. If you're not real big, there is going to be an issue with this. And there aren't a lot of companies doing this. The big guys have their own business inside that collects sales tax and knows what every little hamlet needs. The small guy does not, and that's what this AVLR is going to do. Now, if we look at the stock, I was thinking about going long on this next Tuesday morning because this is when this was supposed to come out. It was trading out lower today. I looked at it, and then all of a sudden my alarm went off on it. I had all of about 15 seconds to do something. I was in the trade all of about 5 minutes and out. A couple of the other people that emailed me today said the same thing, that they were glad that I brought it up on Friday with Tommy. Again, it didn't, as an IPO, you got to kind of watch these things. You don't want to be in them very long. But as Steve Jobs always said, you can't connect the dots forward. You always got to connect them back. And it's a lot of times when you look at one of these things and, I wouldn't buy it now. But I am going to tell you that this is a good business to be in. We'll find out what the real competition is in the coming weeks and months. But when this does go into effect, my guess is that this is going to be a top name that's bandied around the marketplace as much as some of the other big stocks out there. So just keep an eye on it. Yep, from June 15th. So just keep an eye on it. This is one that everybody's going to need. I don't know of a lot of people getting in there that aren't really something else. It is as a service, so it'd be fairly easy for programmers to go ahead and add this to the flow of their program already. You can just go out there and say, okay, here's the zip code for this person. What sales tax do you need to charge? And, put it all in a basket. Let the programmer know to put it away in there and charge it and add. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think the entire ruling came out today. We're going to have to dig into the weeds a little bit on this to find out when's the last day they're going to allow people not to collect sales tax. But my guess is it's going to happen pretty quick. So keep an eye on this one. It did spike almost to 59 today after being down to about 43. And you could make a few bucks on it. I didn't believe it was ever going to stay at 59. So I got into it for a few minutes. A handful of other people did too. And again, this is not something you can do in a newsletter. I was hoping that I would be able to get into this stock in the newsletter next Tuesday, because this is when the announcement on this was supposed to happen. And so I was kind of ticked off that I didn't get that, but somewhat they don't always wait. The Supreme Court kind of does what it wants when it does it. And apparently, I guess they had enough people that it wasn't a big deal, and they just pushed the ruling out, and that's it. But going to be a big deal. Going to change the landscape for some of these companies, especially those in mail order, like I said. Computer parts, other things. Amazon already had offices in every state, so they were already collecting sales tax. But again, if they need to hire or if they need to move 500 programmers off to just get this cleaned up, they do it and it'd be over in a week or two. If you're a small company with 10 people, you don't have that luxury. That's what really I find appealing on this. There are a lot of mom and pops or small businesses out there that are going to start now doing this. And again, it's not been a small problem. We had 40 states go in there and file briefs as friends of the court, stating how much money that they were losing, even though that didn't happen. Because guess what? All it takes is one company that doesn't collect sales tax, and you can't enforce it on them, that doesn't do business in your state. And that's it. So the first business of government, of course, is to grab as much cash and redistribute it as possible. Anyway, big deal there. Other things in the news today, Intel's CEO has been a big driving force in this since he took over. I thought, we've got a couple, or did have a really good CEO in Microsoft, and Intel changed to Brian. I want to always call him Brian Cranston because I can't ever pronounce his name or remember it right off the bat. But he's one of these guys that is like Mary Barra in General Motors, been in the company forever. 172 IQ, 175. Brilliant physicist. I think he's got a couple of doctorates. Grew up in Intel. I think he was there since 82 or 85. Apparently, 10 years ago, he may have had some kind of relation with somebody that worked for him or around him, and he's gone. That's all it takes. You don't need to prove anything. No one even needs to say it's a problem. Don't know if the woman that went out with him actually asked him to go out. Doesn't matter. All we know now is if you're a man, you're guilty, taken out and you're shot, just like Soviet Union, or maybe China, out in the fields, and then they send a bill to your family for the bullet. Seems like a stretch. Maybe there's a lot more that we don't know in this, but man, if there's been a guy that's been critical in bringing up Intel and back from its lackadaisical moves, it's been Brian, and I think they will miss it. Be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of the Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And Micron came out with earnings last night. It's kind of really tough. They're up a little. It's kind of tough to really get my arms around the earnings call. It's not bad, but probably I'm thinking the market was a little optimistic about what they did. Not a lot going on here. Wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. And the question is, what's going to happen to memory prices in the next 3 to 6 months? A lot of people are thinking that they're probably about as sweet as they're going to be until after Christmas. And I think, I don't know if this thing's going to fall apart. Don't think so. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it back in the $55 range here in the near future. After the bell tonight, we've got Red Hat. I did short this thing, made a couple bucks on it, should have held it a little longer, got to 164.91 today, going into earnings. If I would have continued to be short on this, I probably would take my money now. My guess is we're probably going to see some more people getting short this. Hang on just a second. Let me redraw this. I really disliked it when we went short this thing. I think at 176.50 in the daily newsletter. Was really concerned over this high for March 27th, 167.36 with 9.2 million shares. You went into it with 2.8 million shares on the 14th, fell apart. That's where we had the puts the first time. I wanted to take and look at this one again. Got up on 1.4 million shares on the 14th. So even lighter volume, popped one more day, and then it's kind of rolled back down a bit. I got out a little early because I didn't like the setup on it. In retrospect, 2020. But it's come back down to about 165, which is about where this thing was after it blew up back here on the 14th. Going to be very interesting to see how this does because it's been acting incredibly weak. But can they run this thing if there are a bunch of shorts that have been piling in? I think the answer is yes. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the shorts look like now on this one. RHT. Okay. Yeah, been pretty light the last handful of days. Let's see what the bi-monthly is on it. 3 days to cover. Not that many shorts. That's one of the things I liked about it. It was one of the few companies up here that were testing highs on very light volume without this monthly continues to show about 3.5%, 4% short interest. So there aren't a lot of people that are short this. There have been a couple of days where they have, and I would love to see this thing go up on light volume and then hit those highs about 175 again on light volume and then start giving it back up. Here, the risk reward kind of already out of the gate. Can flash memory prices keep from falling when Samsung, Toshiba, SanDisk, High Links, and Micron all trying to grab a market share? And the answer is yes. But the reason that it will be yes is new kinds of memory. And it's not just flash. These guys make all kinds of memory. For Micron right now, it's their DDR4, 5, and 6 that they're selling on NVIDIA cards. NVIDIA makes a deal with Micron and others to supply the incredibly high-speed 10 gigabit per second memory that's on these cards. I think that's what it is, 10 gig, because I'm actually looking at new high-speed video cards for machine learning in the last couple of days. So I've been going through all the specs on these and figuring out which one will be the best for me and how much money. I bought some just a year ago, and guess what? They're pretty much going for about what they did last summer, maybe $100 more brand new. But you can actually get a pretty good amount of money for used equipment that's 1 year old. There's a lot of articles that say that both AMD and NVIDIA have made a lot of product that they may not be able to sell since Bitcoin is rolled over a bit. And a lot of people have already bought new gaming cards and machine learning setups. So is it going to be from feast to famine fairly quickly? And will Micron come back in? It is problematic. We'll talk more about this when we come back after we talk from Marie in Pennsylvania. How are you doing today, Marie?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I wanted to ask you about Boston Scientific. It made a thrust up, and now it's coming back, and I'm not in it.
No. Let's go ahead and take a look at the news on this one. You know why it did that?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. Let's go back here and look. Okay. I thought this was what it was. I'm getting old, so I need to check everything I say. Boston Scientific up 50% higher volume on the heels of a Wall Street report. Said Stryker has approached the company about a merger. So that was on the 11th, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. So it spiked. Doesn't seem like a lot of people think that there's much in that. If you just look at the pattern out here, though, it's probably pretty good. Let's take a longer look at this and see if there's anything else out here. I mean, the nice thing was that you certainly had volume and you broke above the long-term low going back to October 23rd, 2017. So you have a valid breakout. Even if you look at the day before on the 8th, you had 14 million shares. Yeah. You had 34 million shares. Now, the question is, do you have to wait until you get back to 29.93, that October 23rd, 2017 part? And I'm thinking he came back with a big gap down. That was on the 13th. That gap down had some pretty good volume, 22 million shares. And then you just go sideways. Let me see. Do you want to hold through the break?
Sure.
I'm going to do a little bit more research while we're away and look at it. Looks interesting. I want to take a look and see what they have to say about how short this stock is. Did a lot of people short it when it was higher? And what they've been doing the last few days. And then we'll talk about this more on the other side. We're with Marie in Pennsylvania. We'll be looking at DSX when we come back with her.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back looking at Boston Scientific with Marie from Pennsylvania. You still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Looks very interesting. There was some people that got short this thing around in this price range. I don't see a lot of downside to this thing. I don't know if the rumor's true. I went through a lot of articles here, and there's always the non-denial denials, so you know it's true. Yeah. See anything else out here to see it? Okay. Now, the way that this is set up is it's got a lot of shares, and it's got a lot of shares short. Not horribly short if you look at it in the big scheme of things, but because it didn't trade a lot of volume each day, it does have 3 days to cover in the last reporting period. So you've got you got 14.3 million shares short. So, you know, this thing's got a lot of shares, but the average volume is only about 5 million shares. So you got the potential out here, and maybe you got a lot of people out of that because that doesn't include this range. So, but my guess is there's a couple of days in here where you got 20% short. So you could see a pop up to 33.50. I think it's a low risk trade. I don't know if I would take it today or tomorrow, but Monday, if this thing's still going sideways, I like the light volume today. If it continues to do nothing tomorrow, and you come back Monday and we start looking for lighter and lighter volume, I suspect that some of those people that piled on in a couple of days since this thing came back down are going to see nothing going on and start covering, and that could move that up to 33.50. And so you got kind of a small trade in it. The thing would be is if you get another buyout offer, even if it's rumor or it's false, you can drive right back up. So I can see that it's a low risk trade. It's probably a 50-50 that it does nothing or it goes higher. I don't see a lot of risk to the downside. So, you know, you got maybe $1 down and $6 up, $5 higher, $6 higher. So pretty good risk reward. I like that it's just sitting here going sideways. Maybe someone's accumulating it here. But you get about 10 days of these things going sideways, you're going to go higher, I suspect. So I like the trade. Good risk reward. Is it going to explode tomorrow? I don't think so. Monday, though, it continues to go sideways and nothing, and everybody forgets it and ignores it. And I like the trade.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
You bet. Thanks for the call.
Thanks.
You can be like Marie. Oh, that rhymes. 877-927-6648. So we'll keep an eye on the market. Not a lot happening right now. So let's close a couple of these windows. We're kind of at the lower range of what was going on today. Just haven't had the kind of volume. Now, maybe we were pulling back on lighter volume, 4.4 billion shares on the CBOE volume right now. We had, I think, 6.7 billion shares yesterday. So maybe a little bit more. I continue to be kind of bearish overall in the markets. I just think with the lighter volume, it is more than likely that, and what I see each day for the last 3 days, including today, it looks like this market's starting to firm up around these levels and could just go sideways all the way into the weekend before the 4th of July. So I wish that either we were going higher or going lower, but there is the opportunity to go sideways. And I think a lot of the stocks that popped today sold off some. They didn't go negative and were bought again, but they're kind of in this just slightly higher trading range. Looking at stocks like Micron and some of these other ones, they're not selling off enough. I think a good idea is going to get, at least for the NASDAQ, is going to be Red Hat tonight. So I'll be watching that closely. Again, acting weak. The question is whether or not this is just a bear trap for those people. It certainly was weak at the top. I could see why this thing probably is a bit overpriced, but maybe that's already in here. Anyway, I wouldn't be long nor short this going into earnings tonight, but I do like it. Question about Facebook. FB. Okay. Okay. Facebook's broken out. Needed 54 million shares, got 28 million shares. So you got to be kind of nervous. Got to 203.55 yesterday. Up with a little doji out here today. Energy on this last leg from March 26 hasn't been all that exciting. You know, any close back above or close below 195.32 sets up a test of about 167, maybe 165. This big gap out here on the 26th of April, you know, with the light energy on the way up, with the break of the high on lighter volume, and what do we have yesterday? 28 million shares today, 14 million shares. The downside is you probably have to wait for this thing to get confirmation, which is 195.32, and then that opens up that 165-ish range on it. And from a variety of reasons, you could make a case that some of these stocks, especially Facebook, are wildly extended, but the market is somewhat euphoric. And on lighter volume, this market may just be able to sit there and grind shorts out over the next 5-6 trading days on light volume. And at that point, you know, maybe you want to wait until after the 4th to start fishing on the short end on some of these that have gone up with lighter volume. So we'll keep an eye on it. What are we off here? Off 12 points on the S&P cash Dow's off 154, NASDAQ's off 52, and the Russell's off 12. Okay. Okay. Take a look. Question about Tesla. Tesla's down $12. I mean, we didn't get up to 398, which is what I was kind of hoping for. You do have 3 gaps, and today's gap, if you moved down, if it would have had higher volume, I would have said that you probably could make a case for the 3 gap play. Let's take a look at that right there. Okay, and move this over. I need to move this over here. Come on, move. Now I'll get this fixed. We'll be back to look at that 3-gap possible play on Tesla, but I don't like it. We need a lot more volume on this down candle today. Look at it.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Anyway, I wanted to show the gaps on Tesla out here. Of course, it went to 373.73 gap down. I got another kind of a reversal out here today. So the question is, can you make this into a 3-gap play? And the problem is this thing you would really want one more gap up, I'm suspecting. I don't like this gap, the second gap, in that normally when you get 3 gaps, they're all about the same. So 1 and 3 are pretty much the same. I'm looking for one more gap up, and maybe it's just a gap up to 373, and that's it. Maybe you get a $10, $15 gap up in this in the next few days. And if it's up there on no volume, that probably would satisfy the play for a 3-gap play and maybe a chance to go after it. I'm hoping to get a little bit more data about maybe some of these folks quit shorting Tesla. Anybody that reads my newsletter knows that it's perennially in my most hated stocks every day, where I go through the top stocks and the NASDAQ and the NYSE that are actually the S&P 500 that are the most shorted each day, and then I look back for the 5 previous days before it. What I can tell you is that they've quit shorting Tesla. Yesterday, just 12%, when perennially this thing is somewhere between 20 and 25%. And it doesn't mean that everybody went home with those shares short, but it means that those trades were initiated with a short sell. So you know someone was short for a while. To see it drop something like it did yesterday, probably a pretty good indication that people are at least quitting shorting it. Get a few more days moving higher and no one's shorting it. Could have a signal on Tesla. I would love for it to gap up one last time and make sure they have light volume and no shorts. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, out when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This is TFNN, the Tiger Financial News Network. TFNN Headline News Update. Here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN headquarters in Clearwater, Florida, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, final hour of the trading day. Let's check in on those markets as all the major indices remain in the red. Dow Jones negative 176, trading 24,481. S&P is currently negative by 16 points, trading 2751. And NASDAQ negative by 61 points, trading at 7720. Seeing the Russell 2000 pull back 13 points, trading 1693. And you got all of those indices down between about 0.6 and 0.8%. Let's start things off, jump over to the Nadex platform and dive into those futures markets with 60 minutes left in the trading day. We'll start it off with the Dow 30. So we saw quite an acceleration to the downside to start things off, and then we've kind of just been hanging out in about a 50-point to 75-point trading range in the Dow, and we're near the lower end of that range, currently trading 24,474. Lows of the future contract made about 25 points below where we're at right now, 24,450. NASDAQ 100, pretty similar action. Opening bar, we trade lower until about 10:30, and that's the lows of the session. We test that again at a 1, and we're testing it again right now at 3 p.m., currently trading 72.46 in the NASDAQ 100. S&Ps, again, pretty similar story. We trade lower overnight, 10 a.m., 10:20 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. We reach lows of 12.51. We come back down near that area at 1 o'clock, and we're coming close to that area again as we speak. S&P futures trading 27.55. Gold contract catching a bid today after trading lower for most of the overnight session. Lows at about 3 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and from there we're up about $6, currently trading $12.70 in gold. Crude oil, you want some volatility. How about it? Crude, last night, trading at 65.75. We trade all the way to a low of about 64.50 as of 5 a.m. this morning, and then we proceed to trade all the way over $1.50 from that level to the upside at 66.16 and pulling back a bit, 65.62 in crude. And of course, we got an OPEC meeting tomorrow. That should put some volatility in oil on Friday. And natural gas, we had EIA numbers right at 10:30. There's your volatility there. We go from about $3 before the numbers to down about $2.95, and we're up about 2.5 pennies, $2.97.5 in natural gas. Stay tuned. We got Tom O'Brien coming up with the Tom O'Brien Show, live 3 till 5. And of course, it's Thursday. We got our man Andy Hecht with the Commodities Hour, live from 5 till 6. Should be an interesting final hour of market action. Stay tuned. Tom O'Brien coming up right now.